Welcome everyone. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Today we'll have Becky running the game, Shadows of Navaria. Uh, Hope you enjoy it. I'll pass it to Becky.
Okay. Well, welcome guys. Thank you for joining us on the stream today. Just a quick shout out, really, to everyone that has followed our stream so far. Just thank you for joining us. Just a quick note about joining us on social media. As you can tell, I was not prepared to be thrown at like this. This has completely caught me off guard. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where we will obviously post updates. We are sorry that we've not been very active the last few weeks. Just obviously, illness, family comes first, which we will always strive in this community for us. I think that's everything from me. Does anyone else have any shout outs at all that they want to do? John, do you want to do some shout outs?
Yeah, absolutely. Regular shout outs to Paul and the guys over at 500, www.500.com. We love the music. Same with Rob and Fraser over at Starforger, starforger.bandcamp.com, or Parthenopy, if I can get my words out today. Parthenopy at bandcamp.com if you want to go check out their album. As always, much love to Gerald over at HibernoWay and lots of the other channels that we've been collaborating, including Twitch, Twitch and others. And yeah, a big thank you to all of our subscribers as well. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel, and onwards and upwards. Easy, you need to... No, straight back to Francisco then.
No, I think he's muted. That's what he's done.
Well, yeah, now it's working. No, just this week there won't be any Gwent from my part. Probably next week. That's about it. Back to Becky.
All right then. So
Oh, yeah, back to Becky. Sorry.
fine. So obviously, does it can well, I'll tell you what. I'll just do the review because it'll just be easier than me stuttering over my own words. So we basically find a group of adventurers traveling northwards to a city called Felor on the continent of Navaria. Basically, it's a chance encounters between the group of them, which basically found three of them stumbling over each other, and two of them running from an enemy that they had kind of risen or ruse from one of the temples somewhere else in the desert when they were looking for something. One of the party members doused both of the other two that was running, and a battle ensued. And we find them after defeating their bad guys just outside of the city of Felor in the desert, well, in the savannah, I should say. You guys basically gather your thoughts and you look around at each other. Then, Afiqua, you see on top of the city walls, the guard, he kind of said thank you for defeating whatever trouble had come his way, and you'd kind of waved at him and made him a little bit uncomfortable. Guys head back up the hill to the city gates as they begin to open. People start to fill the streets, and the smell of cooking meats and spices fill the air. Dusk life of Felor has begun to resume after the fateful encounter. You enter the city. Chattering people bustle by. Vendors carry on trying to sell their wares and produce as you walk by. Some look a little bit questionable, some look all right. You keep walking through the walled cities. Every now and then, you see a seabird that flies overhead and calling out. Town criers pass you by, shouting similar things on a loop that you hear over and over again. One of them, as you kind of approach the center of the city, you kind of start to listen in, and you hear basically the town crier shouting, strange noises are heard from the Solian mountains and causes disruption to the trade northwards. And he continues onwards. A couple of minutes later, you hear 5 people have been reported missing from the Fey Gardens just outside the city. No news on their whereabouts. Advice is not to stray far from the city after dark. Um, and again, it kind of makes you ponder a little bit, and you carry on walking, and then you hear another one of the town criers. Tension from the south still rising, even after the dwarven royals send northern goods as apologies for miscommunication. And as you get in towards the center, you hear again the same cry as he comes back round. This time you hear a new one that you'd not heard before. Shipwrecks still washing up around the eastern shores. Some say something moves in the Skittle Shallows, but not quite confirmed. Guys, enter the center of the city and you look around. What would you like to do?
Sorry, could we just get a quick re-summary of the announcement? So it was shipwrecks in the Skittle Shallows, the Fey Garden, was it 5 missing?
Yes.
And then there was food sent from the dwarfs to the south because of tensions. And then what was the first one?
Strange noises are heard from the mountains, causing disruption to trade northwards.
And we're coming from the south part.
You guys had come from the south. So, as you can see, there is a map now on the screen. Yep, so you are down by the looks like it's a haunted tower. You've kind of in this kind of area now. You've walked through, and it's kind of opened up a little bit. I have annotated the map so you can see places of interest. That there would be signposts for these places as you're walking through the city.
Okay, let me see.
Who lives in the palace?
You'll have to find out. I mean, you could roll a history check.
Oh, sure. That's what. Sorry, that's what I meant. I meant that as do we know who lives in the palace? What did you say? I should roll. All right.
Roll a history check for me.
Right. How the fuck did I do that? Where's my person? Ivy. I will as soon as I can figure out how to do that.
It's okay, don't worry.
Lally character sheet. There we go. Got it. Character sheet. History.
Sprink will turn to the party and he will.
That roll. There you go. 18 history.
I can get some food, and he's gonna try to find the nearby tavern. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
That's okay. Yeah, I rolled 18 history.
From this plane, you wouldn't know. You look at the palace. You get the sensation it's not one royal family that lives there. It's too big.
Okay.
You can see it kind of rises up a little bit on a hill, so you can kind of see the palace, and it's got like quite magnificent ornate walls, and then there's like a tower in the center, and you can see buildings. It looks more religious than royal. With that history check, you wouldn't know.
Right. Cool.
If Sprink wants to roll an investigation check for me.
Yeah, for sure. 19.
Yeah, you've passed many vendors past the street, but when you were going past it, some of the food smelled too nice. Like you're looking for a specific type of food. As you enter this kind of like open area, you do find one of the vendors. His food is quite questionable. It looks like it's going off. You kind of like you find it quite easily, like your nose, you pick it out without any hesitation. Yeah, you see it, it's there. It's up to you if you want to steal it or buy it.
Not like you give me the option.
It's up to you.
You really want me to steal it, huh?
Alright, you do you, bro.
I'll sniff it, like put my hands in it, like touch it, see what he does.
Right, let me just roll. Is he going to notice? So he's too busy talking to another guy. You kind of put your hand on whatever you pick up. You bring it forward. The guy hasn't noticed. You smell it, and it smells quite rotten. So there's a mixture of like rotten fruit and veg. Towards the back is some questionable meat that looks like fish. You're not sure unless you get closer.
All right, I'll steal that. Let's say it's an apple. Put it in my
Yeah.
pocket. And I'll
roll
go.
a sleight of hand for
Oh
me.
yeah, sure. 23.
Yeah, it's fucking yours.
And
No one even blinks and it's gone.
yeah, it's like a magic trick. It's an illusion. And I'll uh, I'll go over to the fish, poke it in the eyes.
You hear it as you poke it. Obviously, your fingers are quite dainty and quite soft. It gives a little bit, and like the eye kind of goes as you poke your eye through it. It kind of oozes a little bit down its face. It looks like it's maybe 2 or 3 days old. It's not been kept cold properly. It looks like it's been sat in the sun. The smell's not great.
Perfect. I'll grab like
Yeah.
two, like the fish. Is it like small fish or like sardines size?
I would say it's more. God, I don't even know my fish. Like
Is it like a
place kind of size. I would say, like for you, it's quite large. Like
uh,
it's going to take both your hands to pull that fish off.
there's no like small
I beg your
fish?
pardon?
Um, there are smaller fish, but they don't look very appetizing. Like there's a lot of meat on them, but they're further back towards the end of the stall.
I'll grab. How? Wait. Can I hide
I
it?
mean,
Does it?
with that 23, I would say that you took the apple. I would say I would let you also take that fish as well if you wanted the bigger fish.
Can I steal more things?
Of course. And
So
how long are you going to be here stealing shit?
no,
This is
I'm gonna look through all the stalls and just like if I see an apple I want, boom, it's mine. And it like I don't even look at the thing I grab.
just take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, did you want the fish?
Yeah.
Yep. So you take the fish. It's in your hands, and you start like meandering through. Obviously, there's quite a lot of people. They're not really paying you attention. They just see you as like a small child. They're busy going about their evening business basically. You find the odd bits of like more exotic fruit, such as like papaya and stuff like that. Some of it looks all right, some of it doesn't look that great. There's something that you might think looks like a coconut. It's yours. You find a couple of apples on the floor as well. They're in your bag. And you come across like a little bit of a fire area where it looks like questionable people are kind of sat around poking around cooking things. One of those people has left like a plate of what could be rat. You're not sure. That's
Mm,
fucking yours. You take it. It's in your bag. What do you want to do?
eating my brethren. How much damage does a fish do? Like a slap with the fish?
I would say 4 plus your strength.
My next
Right,
weapon. All right. That's fine.
I'm keeping my distance from the smelly fish rat during this.
Yeah, I'll grab the rat plate and put it in my mouth like in front of them. Like the party, like just grab another rat and like eat it. Just drop it
So
in my mouth.
you
Lally
guys
the
turn around
mummies.
and see this small little rat thing.
Yeah,
It's straight in. There's no messing around.
yeah. I'm dry heaving at this moment.
Right then, is there anything else anyone wants to do? Seeing as Sprink has gathered food for everybody.
I'm trying to hold my breath for the smell.
Is the guy screaming the news still around?
Yeah, like it just every like it's like on a loop, but it's not just the same guy. It's like different town criers that come by and they're saying the same things over and over again. It's like, yeah, he's ringing a bell. Some of them look quite small and dainty. Their voices don't really carry. Some of them, the guy that you've heard most of it from, he's quite a big. He's human, but he's quite a big, broad guy. Definitely got a set of lungs on him. He's got like a ginger beard that comes down that's kind of plaited and has like hair and straw in it. But he looks quite presentable, if that makes sense. But yeah, like just every like 5-10 minutes, a different town crier will come by saying the same things, basically.
Is there
Weasley,
any
Weasley
billboard? Oh,
will
sorry.
go. Weasley will go towards the next guy who shot out the news,
Mhm.
and he'll grab his pants if it's the human guy, or depending on the size of the humanoid, and he will ask if there are any discoveries. God damn it, I got lost. Sorry. Where is it? Da-da-da-da-dum. Oh, okay. If we'll ask if some uncovering has been made by some group, some magic users group.
Um, make a persuasion check for me.
Oddly specific.
Yes. Persuasion, not my thing, but we'll try it. 15.
So, kind of like the next guy is quite a lot younger. Like I said, he's a bit weedier looking. He's very thin looking. He looks more half elfish, and you start pulling on his trousers. He's not his voice is one of the ones that don't carry very far, and he's kind of like midway through, like saying whatever he was saying is like ringing his bell, and he kind of stops and looks at you. Obviously, you ask his question, and he kind of just like shakes his head. He's like, "Man, I don't know what you're talking about."
Maybe the guy that's bigger than you knows something.
Maybe go and ask him then.
I don't know the city, so could you ask him for me? I'll give you a coin if you do it.
Like, takes the coin.
One
Want me to
golden
desk?
one golden coin and another one when he gets back.
Like looks at you. He's like, "I have to finish a job. If that's okay with you."
How much is your job for for the day?
I mean, it's like 2 silver pieces. So yeah, I suppose this is. Oh, but I really need this job. I can't just go off and find another guy. I'll get. I can't. Can you wait like 2 hours?
Well, is there any place that we could eat and sleep here?
There's all sorts of places around. You just gotta look around.
I'm asking you, which is the better place.
Well, it depends where you wanna go. I mean, in the next little square over, there's the dancing elephant. That's a nice place to go. There's performances and everything. Or you could go just down to the left. It's about a 10-minute walk. The Willow Trist Pillow. That does nice food, I suppose.
No need. You
I'll go.
sold.
Which is the cleanest place? The cleanest.
I mean, they're probably both the same. You looking for a tavern? And they're nice. Dancing elephant. There's a nice lady in there. I've really got to get back to my
Okay.
job.
I'll be waiting for you in
I'm
the
going to
dancing
start looking
elephant
for. I'm going to start looking for billboard posters. You know, like a
with
town announcement kind of. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You roll an investigation for me. Carry on, Weasley. You were saying you're going to the.
dancing elephant. I'll be waiting for you there.
Investigation.
You said 2 hours?
Yeah, but then I've got to return my bell and my badge.
I'll be waiting in 2 hours for you there with
Okay, little man.
a gold coin. And don't make me go look for you. Please.
Yeah, little man. Who am I asking for when I get there?
Weasley.
Weasley.
Weasley. Hyger.
He like pulls out some kind of like stuff from his pocket and stuff falls on the floor, and it kind of pulls out some kind of like what looks like maybe a quill or a charcoal thing, and he kind of just like etches something on a piece of paper. It doesn't look very legible, and he's kind of like, "Yeah, sure, Weasley.
And what is your name?
My name is Frank.
Just Frank?
That's what I don't have any family. This is why I
So,
really need this job.
Frank with no family. I'll wait for you. 2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours.
Okay.
Really, Frank?
Panicked, okay.
Right.
He did it on purpose. He asked the name because of that. He knew
No.
it. He knew you were not prepared.
I wasn't thinking you would go and talk to the town. Anyway, moving on. So, where anything else? Oh, you rolled an investigation check for me,
Yeah,
didn't you? Let's have a look.
just
15.
to see if there's like a notice board that would have more detail maybe about these.
You
Like a news sort of board thing.
news board. So there
Yeah,
is like one board, but it's more like it's got more notifications about like clearing out the savannah of various things. Like if you come to the Palace of Anubis and speak to, or ask for like the town's guard, they'll give you more details on further jobs and stuff like that for you to do. It talks about some of the like potion keepers of the city are asking for like ingredients and stuff like that, but you don't see anything regarding
relevant.
like talking about it. There's a picture of someone that you can see, but it's just a picture. There is nothing else on that picture at all. It's like a lady. She kind of looks like fair haired. She looks maybe elven kind of way, but you're not 100% sure. Like her features look a little bit strange. She's very like chiseled features and stuff like that. She's got like blue eyes, but that's all the picture has for you.
Right. This is not right. Where can we go?
I'm gonna put my shoulders around Weasley and softly whisper in his ear. So you want information and somewhere to stay? I have somewhere in mind.
Wrong character again. What do you mean by that? Do you know
you
something?
you tend to know people. I mean, if we make our way to Safe Haven, I'm sure I can find what you're looking for.
Well, that seems... Well, I don't know where that is. I was planning...
It's called Following Me, Tiny One.
Sugar Mama.
I know, but I have an appointment in 2 hours with Frank.
I'll carry you there, so it's half the walking time.
So you know, if we go to that, you said, Safe Haven?
Yeah, it's a place I kick around.
We can try that, but I need to be in the Dancing Elephant in 2 hours minus 5 minutes.
Well, you can do your appointment first, and then we can go there if you haven't found the information you've been looking for.
That sounds reasonable. I'll go with that. And Weasley from now on will just be on this area here for his appointment, and then he will follow Benefiqua to the Safe Haven place to do whatever, I don't know what she wants.
Questionable things.
Anyone else got any business that they'd like to do whilst they're in this part of the town?
No, I'm gonna.
I want to pickpocket people.
Make an investigation check for me.
Ah, damn it. 7. Fuck.
And your nose is kind of drawn to the like low lives and like hobos that you stole the rat from. You don't find much over there. One of them looks like maybe he's got some kind of money in his pocket, but you're not sure.
I'll look at Orf. Hey. Look. That fellow over there, he... Money. And I grab the fish in my hand. You know?
Sprink, does it really become you to steal from somebody who is down on his luck, such as that gentleman? Surely you can find worthier, more deserving targets of your endeavors.
Right, big boss.
I do tire of you sometimes. You are somewhat bothersome.
Hey, last time my master said that, I stuck my teeth up his, well, never mind.
Why? Why would you do that?
And I will feed you to the womp.
Not the womp, please. Not the womp.
Hey,
Please.
then behave, my furry friend.
Okay.
If it's not too much trouble, I would like to investigate some of the more academic reaches of the city. Is there a library here, perhaps, or a book purveyor?
Are you just
Correct.
asking around, or are you just... Who are you asking?
So the Fox's Quill, is that what's that?
It should be. Hang on a minute. Yes, it's a bookshop. There's a few, okay?
No, that's cool.
I would probably make my way to the Fox's Quill, and I would be looking for a variety of different books that might catch my eye. I was looking for anything that kind of relates to the old ones that we discussed, and anything that relates to the image that I saw on... Sorry, 1 second, I'm just going to turn Roll20 down.
That's fine. I realised that I hadn't turned the music on.
And it's there we go. Yeah, looking for anything with the symbol on it on the mummies that we saw in the desert.
You
I'm going to
walk into
join
the book-
Orth.
That's fine. So yeah, you guys, you move on over to the Fox's Quill, and it's kind of for the area that it's in, it looks very, very well to do about it. It looks quite clean compared to the surrounding area. Like you get that this type of like this side of the city is part of it's labeled the Old Town, and a lot of the buildings are older, like it's part of the original settlement. But this one looks clean, like he takes pride in it. You walk on in, and there's like a male kind of like dwarf kind of person. He's kind of sat there. He's got his head in a book, and he's just flicking through like pages. It's very green and ornate when you walk in to this building. He's like chuntering and moaning to himself. You look around the bookshelves. If you want to roll an investigation for me.
Yes, of course.
Can I also do it?
Would
Did you go with them? Is everyone gone
Yeah,
with him, or is it just Weasley that's kind of stood outside?
I'm gonna be with Weasley.
16.
You walk through. There's quite a lot of older books here. You pick them off the shelf. You see quite a lot of like arcane spells and scrolls kind of things. One of the books kind of takes your fancy. It's written. It talks about like the old ones. You take it off, and it just talks about the Egyptian pantheon. It doesn't talk much about what you're looking for. You pop it back, and that's about it. But yeah, as you pop in it back, yeah, this place is full of a lot more scrolls as you look further in. There's the odd book, the odd like stacks of paper for like wizards and stuff like that to like write on. But that's the only kind of book that you found of any interest.
Okay. Is it worth me taking, or is it something that I benefit from further study?
I mean, just by quickly skimming through the book, that's all you've gleaned from that book. I mean, it's up to you if you want to risk it and take it, or if you want to leave it.
Uh, uh, do excuse me, my good man. Could you tell me what you might ask for this particular tome?
The dwarf man kind of like puts his book down and like raises an eyebrow at you. Like jumps down off his chair and like sighs and like walks on over and like pulls it out of your hand, like flicks it back and forth. Like can part with it for 9 gold pieces.
9, you say, and so that I fully appreciate the provenance of this book, could you explain to me how you arrived at that particular sum? You clearly are an expert in the trade.
I mean, don't really care for books. Magic Scrolls is where my money comes in from. It's just a history book. What do you want for it? I mean, I could take 15 gold pieces for it if you want.
Let's say 7 gold, 2 silver, and I shall leave you in peace to enjoy your book.
He like looks towards just looks outside, looks back at you. He's like, sure, deal. Yeah,
Okay. I will deduct that now.
What, you just played a dwarf? No way. No way. Sorry, continue.
So Spring, you were looking for scrolls, were you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you're rummaging around. You find a spell that it says Greater Command on it, one that says Message, one that says Major Image, and one that says Disguise Self.
Okay. Is a dwarf looking at me?
Not right now. He's currently looking out the window and then back it off.
Okay. I'll, Hey, little man. Well. Is that a child? No, you got a beard. The scroll's back there. Can I, take a look? Can I, like, I like, spells and I'm a mage. Mm-hmm.
He like looks down at you. He looks back at off and is like, "Is the animal with you?"
He is a curious compatriot, but yes, he is. I assure you, he means you no immediate harm.
He like looks down at you and he's like, "Little scrolls does your dirty little fingers want?"
I look at him with, like, you know, when a dog looks at someone, like, with his eyes just, like, glowing.
Eyes.
Like, that cat from, that movie. Was it Cat in the Boot? Yeah,
Yeah.
just, like, looking
Puss in
at...
Boots from Shrek.
Yeah. Just looking at him. All?
He kind of like looks to where like you've just looked. He kind of stands up straight and he kind of like reaches over and he kind of like pulls it and like a bit of dust falls down. It kind of like sprinkles on top of your head as he like pulls out the scroll cases, like pops them on like the table in front of you and he's like, "Have you got coin?"
Oh, I'm just interested in the writing. I just want to see how it you know, how it looks.
Like turns back to off. He's like, this thing can read.
I told you.
This thing can do a great many things that have surprised me over the years. Read, use the bathroom.
Sometimes.
I even saw him. I even saw him bathe once, just the once.
Yeah, it was a month ago.
It just kind of
At
like
my,
looks and
at my insistence.
if he breaks anything, if he pisses on anything, you're the one that's paying for it.
On what grounds? He is his own man.
Just said he was
Oh,
with you.
rat. That does not mean that I'm responsible for him. He's not exactly a pet.
Right, we'll
Ah,
take
thank
him
you.
out of here.
Whoa. Listen.
Do you have coin?
Oh, I do. What do you think I am? Dirty rat?
You told me you bathed a month ago.
I have 500 coin. What's the cheapest thing you have here? Like the scrolls.
Kind of like roots through it, and he kind of like pushes like two of them towards you. And you see that one says like the major image, and one says disguise self. Like, got one for 150 gold pieces, and you've got another for 375.
Okay, so I can fuck this up. Okay. Alright. Can you, like, tag them with something? I'll come back later. I want to reserve them for me.
1 gold piece per scroll, and I may think about it.
Alright, there you go. And I reach your pocket, like, ding!
And he just puts it in his pocket, but you see that he doesn't tag them. He shoves them back on the shelf.
Does Orth notice this?
Roll an perception check.
Perception it is. Where's my character? Hang on. There we go. Perception.
Ah.
Ooh.
Oh, you're too busy flicking through your new book.
So,
I tried.
Becky, which one was the one that was 150?
So the disguise self is 150 gold pieces. Major image is 375.
This guy's self. Okay.
They are in different kind of coloured containers. So the disguise self one is in like a fancy turquoisey blue, and it's got like swirls on it. And the major image one is kind of like a deep emerald green with like diamond patterns on it.
Okay.
Like the scroll cases.
Okay, I need to check the levels and I'll get back to you. But after that, I want to look for coal and paper.
I mean,
Sorry guys, I've got to step AFK for a minute.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, I'll give you with your investigation, you see that this shop does have quite a lot of paper around the place. Like you'd be able to easily find paper here. Did you say coal was the other bit?
Yeah.
I mean, there is no obvious coal here, but this is a city. You're gonna find it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I'll look for a smith. Yeah, I'll check the levels and I'll tell you what I want to do.
No, that's fine. So did you want to look for the smith now, or is there anything else that you guys want to do?
I want to see if there are
So
any.
if you, as you come out of the Fox's Quill, you see kind of across the market square, past the fountain. You can hear the sound of like a smithy, basically, echoing from just across the way for you. So it wouldn't be hard to find that.
Dog, careful. Is there any literature
You guys want
around
to go
the? Yeah. I was going to look for anything about the any literature about the town, about the palace, about the runs, who's in charge of the town, anything like that round about here.
say that again. Sorry, I didn't quite catch you.
I was looking to see if there was any, like, I don't know what you would say, like pamphlets or anything about the town, which explains the.
You want to look for pamphlets.
Uh,
Roll me.
you know what I mean? Something that, like a history book sort of thing. I don't want to. Fuck it. Do you know what? Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
no, it's fine. So you're still in the
I don't know
bookshop,
what.
yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, roll me an investigation, obviously, whilst Sprink and Orth are doing their thing.
Oh, bad.
16, yeah. You, as you like, kind of walk through the door, just to start off, and obviously you see this interaction between Orth, Sprink, and the gentleman. There is like history books to the side. They are labeled with like 2 silver pieces. There's like 2 or 3 different versions. One talks just about Felor as a city. One talks about the palace, and one talks about like the surrounding areas.
Okay, I'll grab the palace one and which is that? Stay on it.
So you pick up. Did you want to pick up all of them? Sorry.
No, just the palace one.
Palace one. So yeah, you pick it up, and it's quite a thin book. It has a picture of the palace on that you've seen from up the hill. You start to flick through it, and yeah, it talks about like the history of the palace, why it was there, where it came from. That's what's in this book that you found.
Okay. I'll just. It doesn't look like they've. Not even sure what I'm looking for. Fuck it. Just kind of trying to get a better idea of kind of who runs the place, I guess.
I mean, as you look through it, the book doesn't tell you who runs it. It talks more about who used to run it.
Okay.
But without taking the book and taking it home and reading it, you're not going to get much from it.
How
Just by
much?
skimming.
How much is it?
It's 2 silver pieces. That.
2 silver. Right, I'll take it and I'll throw 2 silver at the dwarf person.
Yeah, he's too busy dealing with the rat. That's kind of it. Yeah, it clatters on the counter, and you begin to walk out of the shop whilst you're like reading through the book. It will take you some downtime to read through it. Like if you do like a short rest or anything, that's where you'd be able to read through it. But just looking through now, yeah, it talks about that there used to be one of the royal families, but it's kind of split now, and that it's kind of ruled more by religion than anything. That's what you
Right. That's cool. That's exactly what I always want to know. So, how many silvers are in a gold?
There's 10 silver to a gold.
10 silver and a gold, right? That's 2. That was 2 silvers, wasn't it? Cool.
What's this here, Becky?
The
Finradir's Emporium.
Yeah, so you are stood over the way, and you look over, and it just looks like some kind of shop. It's got quite a lot of people popping in and out. Looking from the outside, yeah, it just kind of looks like a shop to you.
Can I discern what kind of shop is, or it seems a shop of?
You make a perception check as you're staring at it. So you would get the impression by what kind of stuff they've got hanging out. So they've got like your general clothes and stuff like that. You see what maybe look like weapons just hanging around. There looks like some kind of fancier, ornate kind of design stuff just inside the door. You get the idea that, yeah, this guy, he sells all sorts of wares and stuff. Like looking, yeah, it looks like clothes, weapons, magical stuff. No.
Yeah. Okay. Not of my interest. So How long has it passed? Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
It's about 15 minutes whilst they've all been messing around in the bookshop.
Well, I'm gonna make my way through this street here
Hmm?
to go to the dancing elephant, and I'll ask Benefiqua. Benefiqua, I am going to my meeting. It's still early, but do you care for a drink or something to eat?
I know the perfect little place to eat. And can I start dragging him over to the glittering oven?
He lets you.
To the where? Oh, to the
The
other side.
glittering oven.
Yeah, I'll allow it. It's close to
This is
where
because
the,
I sent you the thing, isn't it, Jade? Right, let me pull that one up for you. So
I'll
you,
allow it.
yeah, you're getting pulled over, and as you're being pulled in that direction, the smell of like cooking baked goods like wafts over to you, and you as you approach, there's like lots of like smaller children and like youngish kind of like young adults kind of hanging around, and they've all like quite happily and bustling around. This is kind of, you've walked into like a lot of the nicer district. It's a lot cleaner here. It looks a lot brighter. The light is better. And as you walk over, yeah, you see it's kind of like a nice little quaint little bakery. It looks quite like inviting and like welcoming and stuff like that for you. On top of the on top of, there's a sign, it says like famous baked goods here, and then there's like a smaller sign that like lists a few, but you're quite not close enough to see them. As you get closer, what are you guys going to do?
2 seconds.
Gonna ask him. Does he want savory or sweet things?
Savory. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy.
That's fine.
That's no problem. Okay then. Look at the little kids whilst I walk into the store. Then I get.
So you walk on in to the glittering oven, and yeah, you, Fenafiqua, you see the thing that you've had before. There's on the top of like the countertop, there's a sign that says black ooze bread pudding, and it's kind of like, it's black, it's got like a little bit of like creaminess to it. It looks and smells warm. You see all sorts of different things in the cabinet. There's like fruit dumplings that you can see, fresh cornbread. There's cupcakes that look quite black in appearance, and they've got like charcoaly things on top. There's something that like a little sign that says owl bear claws, that like look at little pastries. There's like different types of pies that you can see around. There's like meat pies and vegetable pies. And what else is there? There is no, that's everything. What's you gonna buy?
I'll pay for him, slam however much it is on the counter, and ask for some the fat lizard dumplings, you know.
So like they look at you and they're like, yeah, we got you, and then they pull out the dumplings and they give them to you. Yeah, they're quite, so they're the meat dumplings. Someone enterprise them, and they look kind of long and thin, and they look like a fat large lizard or dragon. They've got like two little like prongs at the side. They look like little dragons kind of things, with like little fancy patterns going down them. That would set you back about 6 gold pieces for 2 of them.
It's worth it for the little man.
It's expensive.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. So Weasley will look at it. Did you already gave it to me? One of those?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it look like anything I've ever seen before?
Make a history check for me.
15.
Dean. No, you've never seen anything like this before. And to you, it looks like a turd.
Does it smell good?
It smells really good.
I'll break it in half, like to see the what's inside.
You break it in half, it's quite flaky, and it's kind of like gravy and vegetables, and then quite like long strips of like what you think might be boar meat or something, but it's kind of like cooked really nicely, and it's kind of like got the steam rising from it. Like it's been a while since you've eaten this well.
Well, screw this. I'll give a little bite, just to give it a taste.
You take you take a bite, and yeah, it tastes warm and inviting. You chew it, and it's not tough at all. It's quite tender. The vegetables kind of like melt in your mouth, and the pastry is just at that right kind of consistency where, yes, it's crunchy and flaky, but doesn't like poof in front of your face, and it's really nice. You haven't, like I said, you haven't seen this in a while.
I'm hungry now, thanks.
I'll eat it. I'll eat it. I'll say thank you, and I'll keep on eating.
Venefiqua is stuffing her face.
She's just ramming it into her face there.
I'll go outside to eat it, just to next to the door.
You shove that in your face as well, or are you going to eat it a little bit gently?
I'm a small man. I'll eat it slowly.
So yeah, it takes you over the course of like 10-15 minutes to eat this pastry, and like I said, you've never had anything as... It almost reminds you of your mother's cooking, but it's not as good, but it's borderline good. I mean, after being on the road for quite a while, it's an inviting taste in your mouth, but that's it.
Okay. No constitution save?
No, it's not this time. No, you eat it, and your stomach growls for more food. Like it's like, why haven't we been eating this like in forever? Like what the hell? As you keep eating, yeah, the more smells from the bakery come out, and you get the sweet smell of some of like the sweeter things that you can smell in there, and that you saw in there. There's little children that come past with like little bags of like bear claws, and they're like sharing them and shoving them in their face whilst you're eating your dragon turd.
Oh gosh.
When I finish, I'm gonna buy 2 bags of bear paws.
That's fine. That'll set you back 2 silver pieces.
But 2 bags, like 2
big bags.
2 bags.
We'll call it 1 gold and 3 silver. And in
1
each
gold.
one, you'll get like 7. In fact, yeah, no, we'll give you 7 each, so you have 14.
Okay.
Becky, how much gold did we have to start with?
It was whatever your starting gold was, plus 100 for each level. So you had 500 to start with.
Right. Because I accidentally deleted it, so I've got no idea what it was.
So I'm stuffing my face.
It was 500 then, minus...
Yeah. I don't know if game-wise we've actually left the Fox's Quill, but before I left, I would have asked directions to any other bookshops for similar books.
He kind of waves you out the door as if to say, I don't bother myself with any others, but you can go to Finradir's. He may have books there, but I'm not quite sure. But he won't tell you. Why would he send you to the other competition?
Fair. As I leave the shop, I'm just going to send a mental telepathic note to the Womp to relieve itself on one of the piles of books, and then scutter out the door.
Get the feeling back as the Womp kind of accepts and is quite eager to do what you just said. It goes round the corner whilst the dwarf kind of moves back in and like jumps up on the side, and he's chuntering something under his breath about something else. Starts flicking through his book. Then you leave. And 2 minutes later, the Womp leaves, and then you just hear profanities being screamed from the shop about some kind of smell.
Brilliant. I don't even know how the Womp does it mechanically, but I'm happy with that.
It's done it.
Yeah, I'm happy to head to the Emporium if anybody else is heading that way.
Mm-hmm. I'll tag along.
Cool. I'll turn to Lally and say, so Lally, what are you in the market for?
Something poisonous, hopefully. I'm always happy to find new poisons. That's all.
The fellows in the wrappings had a bit of a strange mark on their chest. I'm quite curious about it and where they came from. So if you see anything that looks similar of an age, do let me know, and I likewise will keep a lookout for anything to do with poison.
I shall do.
As we approach the Emporium, what kind of shop does it look like?
So it just looks like it kind of sells pretty much everything. So Weasley's already kind of like scoped it out and decided that shop wasn't for him. It sells like clothes that you can see on the outside, armor, weapons. As you're closer to it, you can look in, and there's all sorts of like potions in there. You see kind of like a box that's on display that's got like different kind of rings and pendulums in them. That seems to be locked away. There's some kind of like arcane stuff towards the back, as you can see through the window. And there is a few scrolls and books on the side, but there's nothing major.
Okay. And I'm happy to go in and have a look around and just see what we find.
Mm-hmm.
You walk on in. What things are you particularly looking for?
I mean, Orth is generally on the lookout for anything that will make him stronger, more powerful, able to summon more creatures. I suppose anything kind of protection-wise, maybe as well.
If you want to roll a investigation for me.
Yep.
As you walk through the door, it's kind of like a single-story stone-walled building with carved ornate wooden doors. And as you're walking through the doors, you off just as like your natural instincts with magic. You see like wards and sigils on the door, which are clearly magical to protect anyone from running in and out and stealing shit. With a 13, you see a couple of more arcane scrolls, but they doesn't look like there's anything for protection or making you stronger. As you walk further into the shop, you see the box that is there, and you do see like two rings of protection that are just sat on the side there. They're locked in the case, but yeah, you recognize them, and you do see towards the back of the shop. There's like a rod that's kind of attached on the wall, and it says like there's like a fancy kind of scroll in writing that says "Rod of Enlarged Meta Magic."
Rod of
And
enlargement.
yeah, and it's
Large meta magic.
yeah, so it's kind of like quite oak-like, and it's got like a gold wire that kind of like wraps itself around it, and at the end of it is kind of like a silver star that's kind of like got the gold that wraps around it.
Okay.
Also with that, there is a pearl that you see in one of the boxes, and it's labeled as the Pearl of Power.
Pearl of power. Who's the proprietor of the shop?
Let me just bring up his name. So, his name is it's Finradir. So it's called Finradir's Emporium. As you walk through, he's kind of like talking to some like ladies that's towards the back of the shop. He looks like an old male elf. He like looks very well dressed, but he still kind of holds himself as if he's kind of more than he is, if that makes sense. Kind of walks with a little bit of a limp. What was it?
I'd like to say to Finradir, my dear fellow, could you tell me about these rings of protection that you have?
Kind of like stops talking to the ladies, and he kind of like puts his hand on one of the backs. He's like, "Dear, do excuse me." And he walks over. He's like, "Yes, sir. You are interested in the rings of protection, I believe."
Yes. Could you just so to get the accent right? Yes. Could you tell me what they do and how much you might be looking for?
Kind of like waves his hand quite like delicately over the box, and it kind of like goes and like springs open, and he like picks one out, and he's like, "Yeah, I came across these quite a few months ago. Believe they require you to place them on yourself, either on a chain or on your fingers or wherever else you wish to pop them, and they give you a little bit of a boost. So when you're being hit by something, it's you more protection, as the name implies. It also, this one here gives you the magical ability to move without leaving any trace for an hour per day. Money wise, you'd be looking at about 2,000 gold pieces. Did you just say?
Is that the same price for both rings?
Yeah, they do exactly the same kind of thing.
Okay, fab. Thank you kindly. We have some irons in the fire, shall we say, and I may well be back in the near future.
Well, you know where I am. Just come a calling. I'll be here. If there's anything else you
Good.
wish to swap, we can always trade. If Finradir is anything, but it is a modest shopkeep, we can come to some arrangement.
It sounds like it could be most beneficial. Do you perhaps have any books along a similar line to, and I take the one from my pack and show him the book that I have, or might you know where else I might find them if you do not stock such items? The gentleman at the Fox's Quill was less than forthcoming, unfortunately.
Oh, yes, you've met him. Yes, he gets like that, especially in the evening, grumpy. He's not an evening fellow. I apologize, but I'm glad he sent you my way. History and gods is what you're after, right?
Specifically, I'm curious about a particular symbol I encountered recently, and I proceed to describe the. Is it flames with a circle around the outside of it?
Was, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of just give him a rough idea, explain to him a little bit about what I know about it, and just to see if that rings any bells for him.
Kind of like looks at you and he's like, you'd probably be better off speaking to the high priest at the temple. That sounds much more their thing than you're going to find in a book. You found them on some old armor, you said.
Yes, we did.
Again, the palace is full of all sorts of old trinkets and stuff. Like, I would go there first.
Very well. We are greatly indebted to you, my friend.
Of course.
Lally, does anything here pique your interest?
Well, I'm going to see if there are any books on poisons. Specifically
Go for it, roll an
poisons. So roll. What did you say? Insight.
investigation again, yeah.
Investigation. Sorry. Yeah, that would
Oh,
make
it's
more
okay, don't worry.
sense. There we go.
15. So, you don't find any books on poison. You find a scroll that is detect poison, and you find a potion that's kind of in like one of the side sections. It says like cure poison, and next to it says potion of spider climb.
Disappointing.
Well, I do apologize that I have offended you, my lady. I'm sure if you request something, I can find it for you.
Just be like walk past with my hand up.
Oh. Well, she's a charming lady. Anyway, if you need anything, you know where I am. I'm here.
Thank you, Finradir, and my apologies for my charming friend here. She is, shall we say, out of town?
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? That's fine. Come on by. I'm always here.
Good day.
And he goes back to speaking to the ladies that you took him from.
Orth is just going to turn on their heel and head off back out into the square.
I'm going to start slowly walking towards the palace direction, looking back at I forgot the name now. At Orth to see if he's going to follow me. Like I will look, as in like without seeing it, obviously.
Yes, or Orth will follow, and as they do so, Orth is kind of scanning the area for any, basically anywhere that he could steal 2,000 gold from.
Roll me an investigation. Really are the bad guys today.
Yeah. Just waved a big trinket under my nose. 15.
Walking past in the old town part, it's as it is what it says on the tin. It's very old. There's nothing of much value that is left on the street here. You walk past like the smithy, so the armor and shields place. There's quite a lot of things in there that if you stole and you fence them to the right people, you may be able to get like some money for them. Looking around, nothing like of ease in this section. As you walk towards the palace, following Lala, you enter like the nicer section. You could try and steal maybe like a sign. Maybe it'll bring you a couple of 100 gold. But who are you going to sell like a sign to? You pass like the potion shop. Again, you look in there and there's some potions that look quite fancy, but again, it's fencing it to the right people.
Is there any kind of treasury-looking buildings?
Not in this section that you see. You scan around. You don't see anything of that kind of nature here.
Are you looking for something, my dear? Talking to Arth.
Yes, as it happens, those rings, I think we both could benefit from them coming into our possession, so shall I say I'm looking to liberate some resources from some well-endowed individuals and redistribute them to our own purposes.
Interesting.
If
Shall
you
we-
happen to see anybody transporting any wealth, any goods, then perhaps we could.
Shall we head towards the palace? There might be more wealthy people in that direction.
Right, so. What kind of time is it, DM?
This time of evening, we're probably approaching 9:30, 9:45, probably about the time that we're on right now in real life. The sun has set, but it's still quite bright in the sky. You can see stars and stuff, but it's not quite pitch black, if that makes sense. It's even though we've just gone past winter's height, it is like the savannah. It is still quite a warm part of the country, so it is still bright in the sky.
Do we see the remainder of the group kind of as we get towards the glittering oven, or?
So Sprink was kind of following behind you, and as you start walk towards the Palace of Anubis, you see Weasley kind of blowing at his face, cleaning himself up, bringing 2 big bags of owl bear claws, and Benefiqua, she's still in the shop, I assume, in the bakery. I don't know, Benefiqua, are you in the shop or are you outside the shop?
If Wesley walked out with what he bought, then she would have followed him.
Yeah, so they're both kind of stood outside the shop, rubbing their faces full of pastries and food. You both, or all 3 of you, can smell the food now. You see where it's coming from, and there is quite a bit of a gathering outside as you're walking past it in this part of the square.
Orth's rather indifferent towards food in general. But don't let that stop Lally.
No, Larry's not going to be interested in kind of human-y, poor people's food.
Lally, the sun appears to be going down, and I imagine the palace will be closed soon, if not already. Perhaps the right solution is to retire for the evening to a suitable location and have another look in the morning.
Aye, I'm I don't know. The evening sounds like a perfect time to look.
Well,
I don't need your assistance, though.
I am more than happy to accompany you if you wish to have a look. Now, my thought might be that we could have a look with at least attempting some kind of guise of legitimacy, and should that fail us, then we can pursue less orthodox means.
Well, I'm not one for doing things boldly. I was thinking more sliding in underneath the door, sort of kind of thing. Obviously not underneath the door. You know what I mean?
Orth takes a scrap of beef jerky type stuff from their bag on their side and just hands it up to the creature sat on his shoulder, again with the kind of leathery bat wings. And as he holds up the piece of jerky, just a single small tentacle appears from under the bat wings, wraps around the jerky, pulls it back in, You just see the wings kind of vibrating back and forth as whatever is under the wings munches away.
Becky,
There.
sorry.
Very good one. Very good.
How much of the palace can we see from where we are in that small square?
So it's kind of raised up from where you are. So it is quite a grand white marble building with white walls that go all the way around it. You see most of it. You see the central spire that's in the center, and then like two little like buildings that kind of raise up a little bit, and then you can't see past the wall, but you assume there's probably more to it in front of the wall.
Okay.
You can see quite a lot of it. You see that the entrance, that there only seems to be from this side one entrance in and out. It's got quite large gates, which are kind of gold. Are still currently open.
How good is or bad, or even is the lighting towards the top, towards the roof area?
It looks, it's like it's in the wealthier part of the city. It is very well lit up. There is no. I mean, roll me a perception check or investigation as you're looking at the
Let
palace.
me see. I can see which one. 2 seconds. Perception, did you say? Or was that one of the ones?
Or investigation.
Well, perception, I've got a thingy on.
So as you're like glancing around towards the top of the spire in the center, it's more lit up and light. Towards the middle of the spire, it's a bit darker, and then towards the base of it is more light.
Okay, is there an opening, like window or whatever, in that dark section?
Not in the dark section, no. At the top of the spire, there's like what you can see is kind of like 3 or 4 big archways which look open. They don't seem to be closed or like any kind of latches on them. They just look open. In the center bit where it's a bit darker, there is no open windows that you can see with that perception check at this angle. But as you're looking towards the base of it, you can see a few more windows. Those windows are open to let like the evening breeze in.
Okay. Because I'm thinking, because I can fly anyway, so I'm trying to think the best method of attacking this place. It's not attacking it, you know what I mean? Of entering it. I guess I'm just going to have to try and wing it. See what I did there? Yeah, I'll try flying quite high, then swooping down to the top of it. I'm hoping that there'll be nobody actually keeping their eye out on the top of the spire.
When you get your wings out, are you doing it in the middle of this square?
Ooh,
or are you
no.
taking yourself off to the side?
I don't do anything bold. I'm a rogue. No, in the nearest quiet place that's big enough for me to stretch the wings out, obviously.
That's fine. So, like as you're approaching,
It's dark now. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, I would say you're approaching this section here. You kind of looking around, and there's outside the dancing elephant. There's like some kind of like people, kind of like milling around. It's quite bright there, but as you kind of like walk past it, you can see like a small alleyway behind it. It's quite shaded behind the tavern. You begin to take off like whatever clothes you've like. I suppose your wings are hidden. You unfurl your wings and you kind of like stretch them a little bit and like flex them, and you feel the muscles kind of like loosening up and like your joints kind of popping a little bit whilst you're getting comfortable. And then like with 2 like swoops, like you beat downwards and you're up. Make a stealth check for me whilst you're going up. Yeah. No one sees you. You like a shadow. You're up and in the air, and no one saw you at all. Not even you don't disturb any birds on the roofs. Like the noise that you make is just taken for the wind just blowing through the streets. You're up and you're into the air.
All my
It's like you do
compatriots are like, what the
like where the fuck did she go? You sweep, like you do a swoop around the palace, and yeah, at the top of the spire, there's a couple of people like milling around at the top of everything, and you can see it is all open. There is no like locks or doors or windows or anything. It is just an open kind of foyer. There's kind of like lots of carpets, and like wall hangings and curtains just draped around everywhere, and you see them like gently just like blowing in the breeze. It's kind of colored with like, again, like royal green, quite dark blues, and like red and stuff like that. It does, if you were to look at it, and you would know that, yeah, it looks like a palace with like the fancy gold and silver like decorations and ornate parts of the archways around the top of the spire.
what?
But as you like look in, the people that are in there don't look like royal people. They do look like priests. Some of them look like they're praying. There's some kind of something in the center of the spire that you can't quite see as you're doing like a swoop around. But you kind of like do a spiral round, and you notice that, yeah, there's two quite big buildings, and like a smaller central one. They don't look very religious. They look quite, yeah, they look royal. Those people that are milling around down at the bottom, they don't look religious in any way, shape, or form. They look more just like nobles, if that makes sense. That's
So
all you
look well
glean from
guarded.
yeah, it's looking around. There's guards at every entrance, exit, doors. There's bands of them walking around. Yeah, this place is guarded.
Okay. I shall just swoop back down and just behind Orth and whisper into his ear the details of the palace that I've just discovered. Assuming that I land as quietly as I
Yeah, I would say
landed.
with your 26, as you've swooped around, I would give you that, like, yeah, you go back to the place that you set off from, you land gently, you, like, again, ruffle your wings, you pull them back
Scare the
in.
shit out of everybody, I hope.
There's a couple of cats and rats that you've disturbed in the alleyway that kind of go "Meow," and like run off down the thing. You hear like scurrying as the rats disperse, and you just kind of like smile to yourself and just stride out from behind this alleyway, back out onto the like main square.
Right,
Yeah,
I
you
shall...
see Orf. He's kind of just stood around looking, and you discuss what you've seen.
How the fuck do you know?
Are Wesley and Benefiqua with us yet?
Yeah, you probably like, as Lali turned away to disappear, you kind of like summon them over. Benefiqua quite consistently drags you into the bakery and shoves another one of the things that Weasley had into your face. Obviously, you're not impressed by this, but hey, she's buying. Your fucking food is food. You need to survive. You eat it. It's great. Well, it's not great. It's food. You're not really into it. It is kind of just, like I said, to get you through. But just a faint little smile comes to your lip as you taste it, and you're like, it's not that bad. It could be worse. You go back out into the centre, and that's where you see Lali coming, like striding.
Let's make our way into the palace and see if we can't have a bit of a nose around.
I will make sure that he realizes how well guarded the center bit is.
Sprink, it goes without saying you need to be on your best behavior. No poisoning anyone in the palace. Don't shed on anything. And definitely don't piss on the carpets.
Alright. Shall we?
After you.
Okay, I shall wander up towards the palace then.
You walk up towards the palace. as you guys it's kind of like a bit of an incline. It takes you a couple of minutes to go there, and there are people that are kind of spilling out from the palace. They look like they've been to some kind of like congregation, some kind of like religious thing. And as you guys approach the palace gates, there's like 3 guards, and they do stop you. They won't let you through. They kind of just like go, "Halt! What do you want?"
We wish to visit the palace, pay our respects, and if there is somebody available who could help me with a somewhat academic question about religious symbology, that would be icing on the cake, shall we say.
Well, we're closed for the day. Sun's down. Just missed the last mass. I'll have to come back in the morning for early morning mass.
Very good. I understand that you have a job to do, and palaces like this cannot secure themselves. Might I ask what time the palace opens at?
Well, generally at first light, which is about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
We are most indebted to you. Tell me, you have quite a lot of experience. You have met, I presume, everybody who comes into the palace. Are you familiar with anybody who might work with religious artifacts of any kind?
You want to speak to the head priest? He's all with the religious stuff. I just stand outside and guard it. Make sure no one attempts to bother any of the royal family here.
Of course, but for one in your position, you must have the natural quality of being observant. Do forgive me. Would you happen to know the high priest's name?
Yes, he's called High Priest Passin.
That.
Miss him. He's here all the time. Currently, he's in his. He's at the top of the spire. I assume he's doing his end of day rituals. He'll be up in the morning.
Most kind. What was your name? I would like to put in a good word for you.
You think you're gonna catch me out, but I actually wrote his name down. He looks at you and he's like, "My name is Calon."
Calon, was that?
Calon, so Calon.
Calon. Wonderful.
It's like putting your washing machines.
Shut up, you. Hold on.
Is there anybody nearby? Looks kind of official, like over their shoulders, maybe.
Like official looking, as in like
royal or religious? Because we know
yeah,
already
either
there's
way.
royal people in there and religious people. So
Anybody who looks like they carry a certain amount of authority.
make a perception check while she's just glancing in.
stop being the best.
Or if you want to spend time investigating, you can stand and look awkwardly for a moment.
That's a good perception.
Oh, 21.
Come on, Francisco, what's up?
Did I find my coal?
You can roll me an investigation check. With that perception check, yeah, you see there's like an older gentleman and kind of like a young lady, and they're kind of talking to each other. They kind of like look at each other, they say something, she blushes, and they kind of disappear off inside into one of the smaller buildings. But that's the only kind of people you see. It's more guards now. Most of the general riffraff has been chucked out for the day, and you can see that they're kind of like shutting down so no one kind of disturbs anyone that's in there.
A kind of guard captain around.
The one that you're speaking to is probably as high as you can go. You have met the captain guard. He was on the wall. He shouted something at Venefiqua, but you've not seen him since.
Okay, no worries. The older gentleman, just before he goes in, can I just use telepathy to plant the thought in his head that Alon is charging people money for access to the High Priest,
Yeah, that's
and
that
then just
that
turn
can
around and leave.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. So yeah, you kind of, as you do that, you kind of see him stop and kind of like turn slightly, and he kind of walks off after the young woman that's in there. And that's
Excellent. Nice bit of chaos there.
with that investigation. You said that you were looking for charcoal, didn't you?
Yes.
Um, so obviously on the main street there is nothing. It's quite a clean place, but you see on the the lights and stuff like that, there is quite a few bits of like charcoal dust that you assume these lights that are around are fueled by some kind of carbon. So you would, if you want to steal, you can. With that investigation check, you do remember way back in the original square that you were in, that there was an armory there that had the smithy. They had some coal lying around, and you're pretty sure if you went and snuck in, you'd be able to find more.
I just need like a little piece of coal to grab a stick and split the stick in half and put the piece of coal there and sharpen it to make a pencil.
I mean, if you were to ask one of your companions, they would probably be able to reach the lights and pull down some coal for you. But you can see coal in the lights. It's just up there.
Yeah, but it's gonna be burning coal.
You don't know that. They're down on the floor.
Well, I assume it is. So I'm not gonna grab something that's burning. I'll ask around the people in town.
Hmm?
Do you know where the blacksmith, kilns, charcoal thing?
In this section of the city, as you start trying to speak to people, people kind of like look at you a little bit scared and walk away. Then Afikra is nearby. She would be able to help you. It depends if she's still shoving food in her face. But every person that you speak to in this square that you currently are stood in, they don't want nothing to do with you.
I'll grab someone by the hand, and I'll look at them and I'll say, "Hey, listen to me. Don't worry about it. I'm clean."
And they kind of like let out like a little bit of a scream, like ah, like that, as like they try and pull the hand away from you, but obviously you're kind of holding on. What do you want to say to this person?
Hey, listen. Look. Do you know where there's like charcoal, like coal, anywhere?
Make either a persuasion or an intimidation.
It's totally a persuasion. I mean, I could pay you. I could pay you for it. No, okay.
They're freaking out right now. A little rat's touching their hand.
Woohoo!
So, like, they're kind of like panicked. They're wide-eyed, and they're like, "Just look, over there," and they point towards the potions place that you see. They're like, "I'm sure there's stuff in there. Just please, don't bite me, please. I'm clean. Let me go, please."
I'll look at the person. What's your name?
Why? Right. So this is it's a man. He's kind of like in his late 30s. We're gonna go with Duncan.
Duncan.
His name
Okay.
is Duncan.
All right.
Do you have a friend called PJ?
All right.
No, he does not.
So.
Okay, that reference might be older than some of you guys.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Duncan. Very nice to meet you. Here, take
Don't
this.
bite me.
No,
Oh,
no,
what
no,
is
no.
it? Oh.
This, and I like flip him off, and I like with the other hand, I like tap him in the shoulder, and I'm gonna put a flea in my shoulder, and I'm put the flea in his back.
Like as you flip him off, he's like, "How obscene!" And he like just runs off, completely horrified. As you watch him walk away, he does look quite like upper class. Like the fact that you just placed a flea on him is probably not the best. But yeah, he's kind of horrified. He looks like he's wiping down his hands on himself, and he's kind of like calling out for anyone as if to be like, "Have you seen what filth has found its way into the city?" And he walks off. Um, but yeah, you like turn and you see the potion shop. It looks like there is someone still in there. But there's not. It looks like they're shutting up for shop for the day.
Fuck, I'm I'm running. I'm running to the shop.
Okay,
Hey you,
so you
you fucker! Wait! And I'm like, as I run, I kind of like jump, like to look at the him from the like the wave of people. Like just I just imagine the streets like full of people. I'm like jumping. Hey, you motherfucker! Don't close the store.
so as you kind of like jump into this shop, it's like a two-story building with like iron furnishings, small dragon skulls hang around outside, and then as you enter the shop, you do see that there's like a half orc, and he's kind of like folding things up, and he kind of like looks a little bit startled, and he kind of like pulls out a dagger, like a steel dagger from his belt. He's like, "What the?" As you kind of like launch yourself into the shop, he kind of like looks around. He's like, "Hey, we want no funny business here. What are you doing?"
First of all, that's racist. Second of all, I'm here for business. Right, partner?
End of the day is over. I'm going home.
uh, how much do you make?
What?
Like money? Like, how much?
Is this some kind of robbery? Because you're backing up the wrong tree here.
No, I wanna, I wanna bribe you.
Oh, it kind of like puts the dagger into the table. Like, again, you're barking up the wrong tree here. What do you want? Why do you want to bribe me?
Listen, man, I just want a piece of coal. Like, literally just a piece of coal. That's all I need.
Kind of like looks at you, pulls the dagger out of the table. He just like chunters and moans to himself and then comes back and like dumps about like a handful in front of you. He's like, just get out.
See, you're useful, and I'll turn around. See you later. And I'm just.
Like, don't threaten people in this city. Some of us are retired thieves. And then you just walk away.
Ooh,
You walk away and your gold's
information.
gone.
Retired thieves. Okay.
I was gonna say something and I've forgotten now. Oh yeah, John. EJ and Duncan, nearly 30 years ago.
Older than me.
Yeah. 29 and a bit years ago.
Right.
Let's get ready, let's get ready, let's
No,
get ready to
stop
rumble.
it, get out. I'll
What?
not have that here. Anyway, moving on.
You ready? You
Are you
ready?
making your pen?
Rumble. Yeah, everybody rumble.
Did mute that, Mum.
I will.
Oh, that's harsh.
I'm joking.
Oh,
Before that, I'd also like. Well, I'll probably have a piece of paper with me. When I looked at the scroll, okay. Becky, in your game, how do you describe scrolls? Like, how do you see them as? Like, how do you see them being? Like, a phrase, an enchanted like scribble.
how would a scroll look like to you, like to me in
Yeah,
my world?
yeah.
Yeah. So you'd pull it, and there'd be like at the top of the page, it would say the name, and then it'd have the arcane sigils that you would need, and then underneath it would have the in common, like how to cast the spell, like little tricks and stuff like that for you. And on the other side, it would just be a blank piece of paper. It'd all be on one thing that you could roll up.
How much, like, how would you see the letters being? Big, small?
Again, the title and the arcane sigils would be quite big.
Okay.
The writing and how to do it would be quite small.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Do I just steal a spell without knowing how to use it?
You do
Okay.
you. It's your character.
How much time would I take to not transcribe? Like with the piece of coal write on top of the letters. How much would that take me? I'm trying to do this quick as well.
So it would probably require you to do some kind of like an arcana check or a performance check. See, arcana, can you scribble down it in the correct way? Performance, is it legible? You could choose which one. If you're
Okay.
trying to do it fast, the DC will be quite high, and if you try and scribble it down wrong, you will have the spell, but it's whether it works or not, depending on how you fail.
Okay. Right. Big plans. I'll think about it. You you talk to other people. Yeah. Let me think about it.
Right then. So you guys see Sprink coming out of the potion shop, and as Sprink kind of like is fumbling around with some coal, the door is slammed, locked, the lights go out. What would the rest of you like to do?
I am going to speak to Arth. You're looking for money to buy these enchantments.
Yes, it would come in handy, shall we say.
So you're trying to rob somebody to get this money. Why don't you just rob the store?
I don't see it as, dear Lally, more redistributing wealth to those in greater need.
Okay, this I understand.
What mediocre, inane purchases will these folk make compared to necessary purchases that we must make in our endeavors?
Indeed. I could not have put it better myself.
Do let me know if you see any wealthy-looking individuals. An accident might befall them, shall we say?
I shall smile and half sheath one of my daggers. It might. I need to practice my skills, lest they get tired.
Shall we make our way to some accommodations for the night? Benefique, I believe you are local to this area. Any suggestions?
I mean, you were recommended the Dancing Elephant. However, my quarters are in Safe Haven.
And how are the quarters there?
Fairly fine. I mean, it's livable.
Perhaps we should have a look at the Dancing Elephant as it is nearby, and if that is not suitable for us, then we can make our way to the Safe Haven.
Okay.
With that, I'll start heading towards the dancing elephant.
That's fine.
Yes.
Oh, Wisley, is there anything that you'd like to do whilst you stood out here, shoving your face full of owl bear claws?
No, I'm still waiting for my meeting with Frank.
Okay. Obviously, he said that did you say that you were going to meet him in the dancing elephant, or you were just going to meet him on the street?
The dancing elephant in 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, it's coming up to like we're just over an hour now. It's been an hour since you've met him. There's quite a few people that are moving into the dancing elephant. You see kind of a bit of a crowd milling around outside. Do you guys wish to go in, or are you going to scope it out? What are you doing?
So, question: every shop is closed, right?
Yeah, they've all started
This
shutting
one.
down for the night, and it's kind of like, yeah, there are still a few vendors selling food, but not many now. It just seems to be like the taverns and the inns that are staying open.
I'll go to at least I'll go to the dancing elephant to wait for Frank.
Is everyone joining them?
Yes. Yes.
I'm trying to find a hobo or two.
Roll an investigation check.
Alright. Okay.
This area is too nice for hobos. You look down a few like streets that you can see, like a couple like alleyways that you would expect to see some kind of like low life or hobo. There isn't any, but you do remember seeing them in the old town park.
Okay, I'm going there. And
You approach the people where you stole the rats from before.
No. Well, they didn't see me, so.
Oh no, but that's the people that you approach.
Okay. First, I'd like to cover my face
Okay.
with something. I don't know, like plants, like something that's handy there, like in front of
I
me.
mean, there's a lot of like palm trees and like leafy plants. It doesn't take you much to pick like a fallen leaf off the floor and shove it in front of your face.
Okay, I make 2 holes with my claws.
Okay.
All right. I'll go to one of them. Hey, psst. You, right there.
What? Why have you got a leaf in front of your face?
I'm the leaf man.
What?
I'm the leaf man, and I have come here to offer you something. How does 25 pieces of gold? Hmm?
Hey, Elan, have we been smoking something again? The fucking leaf that's talking to me.
Trust me, I am real. Touch me. Well, don't. Actually, yeah, sure.
What? Why am I touching you?
My hand. You perv.
Like, holds out your hand and he just strokes your little paw. You're so furry.
The leaf has a lot of little leaves that look like fur.
Dude, I think I'm so high right now.
Do you want the 30 bucks or not? Gold pieces.
Bugs, yeah, sure. Bugs sounds great.
No, like the gold pieces, this thing. And like,
Gold. Yeah,
yes.
sure, gold.
How is his other friend looking? Is his friend also high?
Roll a medicine or insight check.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Aw, come on.
I mean, you've got a leaf in front of your face. You can't really see him, but the other guy's kind of like, he's just laid down. He might be asleep. He might be stoned. He might be dead. You don't know.
Alright. I'll tell you what. I'll come back in an hour. And if you're still feeling dizzy, you don't you don't get the coins. You gotta sober up.
I can. I'm fine. Leaf is talking to me. This is so weird.
Are you sure you're fine?
Yeah, I'm fine. Look
Drink.
at me. And he like slaps his face. Fine.
Okay.
Leaf, don't
Walk.
go.
Walk. I'm not leaving. I'm the leaf man. I live everywhere where
What
there's
is going
leaves.
on? What is going on?
Yeah, so he's yeah.
Uh. Yes. Walk in a straight line. We're going.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
going to be partners. I need.
I'm sure. Gets up and he starts like he like runs in a straight line.
Does he run straight?
It is pretty much straight. Towards the end, he kind of turns back to look at you, and he kind of staggers a little. He's like, "Look, Leaf, it's fine." Trips over his own feet, but he's fine. He's corpus mentis.
Hey man, what's your name?
My name is Solo.
Solo. Okay. Fucking ugly ass name, but anyways, Solos.
What? Leaf, man, no.
Sorry.
Why'd you say that?
I need your help, Solo. Okay.
Okay.
Do me a thing, and I would to not occupy much time. I want to do like Simon Says with him to see how like good he is operating.
Okay. Yeah. Let's roll for this.
Alright.
He's not that good at it. He's too interested in he's like, fuck, there's a leaf. What?
Okay. Yeah. You'll do. Alright. Here's the thing. I'll give you this fish.
Okay.
Right? And I'll tell you. I'll come tomorrow again. You stay here. Don't leave this place.
This is where I live, on the street.
Oh, good on you.
Good street.
Sure. Here's the thing. I need you to throw this fish at this dwarf's face, alright? But only when I whistle.
Okay.
When I whistle, you do it. And then,
What's the
first,
whistle? What does it go like? He throws the fish.
you got it. See? That's exactly it. Alright. So, go grab the fucking fish right now.
So he's like, oh shit, and he runs up and he picks up the fish and he brings it back. He's like, yeah, leaf man.
Thank you.
Want it back?
Namaste, brother. Anyways, here's the thing.
Yes.
When I whistle, you got it, right?
Yes.
So, when I whistle, first I entered the store, right?
Okay.
No one sees anything. No, wait. No. I got a better idea, man. All right.
So confused.
You're not
Are you entering
confused.
the store or are you not entering the
All
store?
right. We both enter the store. I'll bring my friend, and
Bring my friend.
no. Well, yes, yeah. Bring your friend. Sorry. It's just a leaf, man.
Fine, leaf man. It's fine.
You go there. When I whistle, you throw the fish at the dwarf and you run away. You understand? You understand that? Right in the face. Right in the face.
Want me to practice?
No. Well, if you can do it with your friend, but not right now.
It's great. He throws the fish at his friend and it slaps him around the face. His friend kind of moves a bit, but he's asleep. Like that.
Yes. Call him. Tell his beard sucks.
Yeah,
He will
okay.
go after you. Alright?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beard
well.
Sucks fish face.
Yes. And then run like what's the fastest thing you've ever seen? It doesn't matter.
Awesome.
Run like if you were a bird flying. Yes.
Okay.
Then talk to one of the palm trees, and I point at a random palm tree in the street. Yeah, that one. I will be in that one. Yes.
Okay.
And then I'll drop you the 30 gold.
Okay. Got this.
You got this, man.
Fish
Solo, you got this.
onto a tree.
And
Yes,
I
do.
grab his like face and like slap it a bit. You got this.
He's like, yeah, I got this. Leaf, man, got this.
And I give him a gold piece. Here. Tomorrow, it's business time. And
Yes.
I drop it there. And I leave to go.
What if I need you again, Mr. Beetleaf Man? What if I need you tomorrow? What if the fish goes missing?
I look at him. And I make like an orb of Eldritch Blast in my hand. Do not fucking... No. The fish? That's the most important thing of the plan. I want the fish back.
Yes. Leaf.
I've
Got
got
it,
no
Leaf Man.
idea what's going on.
30 gold is too much. Do not fail me.
Oh, okay, Leaf Man.
Alright.
Yes, man.
And
He
I'm
goes
just...
back to like stroking the fish. Talk to me.
And I'm just bolting out of there. See you! And I run through the...
Bye.
And I go talk to my my friends, my buddies. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so yeah, you've set up this for whatever shenanigans is going to go down tomorrow. So you all approach the dancing elephant, and as you get towards it, yeah, it looks a pretty nice tavern. And you do hear quite a few people, some that you think maybe tourists, some you're not sure, but they do talk about this being the nicest tavern in town. It as you walking up to it, you see like there's a sign that says it's the Loxodons inside are Zon and Litu, and one of them will be performing this evening to the upper class. As you guys walk into it, it's quite open. The tavern has desert vibes. It's yellow, ornate, and most of the decorations have accents of red and blue, very similar to what Lali saw up at the palace. There's a central light fitting with green and blue jewels that hangs down over the room. It smells of warm spices and something smoky. As you walk in, you see kind of like a bit of a dragonborn towards the side, and he's kind of like spouting off some like nonsense. And yeah, you see quite a few people milling around. Where would you guys like to go?
Do we have a vacant table?
Oh, I didn't quite hear you then. Say that again.
Do we see a vacant table?
Can you see them roll 20, Mark?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now it's open.
Yeah, so there's vacant tables towards the back, and then there's vacant tables around the side as well.
Hey.
Okay, I am going to head towards the alcove tables over here-ish. I don't like to be in the open, obviously.
Going to the booth? We're going to the booth.
Yeah, I'm going to the booth anyway. You can... I don't like to be...
That's my place.
I like to be hidden.
Yo, chill.
I'll put my bags on top of the table with my cakes.
Let me... Benefica, would you like me to pop you on the map?
Yes, please.
That's fine, I will do that for you.
Where's Lolly?
I've got no idea what's going on.
No, I'll put you in.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
you're next to Orth.
Just
You'll
bear
need
with
to-
me,
you'll need
as
to
my
tell me
roll
how.
20 is doing something strange.
You need to tell me how to put myself on the map.
It's just drag and drop from the where you have your character.
At the
Just
bottom.
pull. Yeah, no, on the right side.
All right. Okay.
You have your
Okay.
name. You drag it, and there you are.
Okay. Oh, I see. Right. Thanks.
No Frank, right?
Bear with me. My roll 20 seems to be doing this weird thing where it keeps zooming in, so I'm just going to reload the thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, so you guys walk into the tavern. You see quite a lot of men. They're just milling around, talking, doing their own kind of thing. You do see, like, there is a Loxodon that's kind of on the stage, and she's kind of like sorting things out. And then you see, as you like look across the way from where you are, it's still doing it. You see the Loxodon behind the tavern, and he's kind of like milling around, doing like drinks out and stuff like that for them, passing it out and stuff. But you still see the Dragonborn. You can't quite hear what he's saying from where you are, but he's kind of talking quite loudly to the others, and he's got quite a bit of a crowd that's gathering around him. There is like gentle music playing in the background. Nothing too loud. There is like ambience and stuff like that. You guys pull up to the table. There is a menu that is there. It shows different foods, different alcohols that you can order. What would you like to do?
Who's gonna call for the waiter?
I mean, you call for a waiter. It doesn't look like anyone's coming.
Okay. No one's coming.
Right.
God damn it. Wesley will go to the counter.
Yeah, so you
How tall
approach
is the counter?
it's taller than you. You're gonna have to climb up on top of the stool to like
Not
peer
gonna
over.
No, not gonna climb. Gonna call.
You kind of like call the guy over, and it's at this time you're hearing this guy talk about some tale about how he went to this place of horrors, and how no one survived, but hey, he's here. But yeah, you're not really paying him attention. The Loxodon kind of like moves over and kind of like looks down at you. It's a little bit like that scene out of Lord of the Rings where the widow approaches the bar, and the barman looks down to him, and he's kind of like, you see that, yeah, he's kind of got like two massive tusks, and there's kind of like chips missing out of his tusks, where he's clearly a chiseled Loxodon, and he's been in some wars, but he kind of has let himself go. He's definitely very leathered, and he's seen many a summer, if not winter, as well. He kind of like looks down at you, and he's kind of like tusk, kind of like not tusk, trunk, kind of like slaps onto the countertop and like rolls down towards you, and he kind of like nods his head as if to be like, help.
Can I reach the trump?
Yeah, it's like on top of the thing and then like rolling down towards you. He kind of like, as you see the trunk, it's kind of like sniffing you a little bit.
I'll ask him, do I need to ask for drinks here, or do you go to our booth?
You ask here, I'll sort your drinks out, get someone to bring the food over later. What do you want?
Well, we haven't chose yet, but maybe wine, ale, and maybe the strongest thing you have on the menu. Please.
Kind of looks at you and he's like, want wine?
Yes.
Want red, white, rosé?
Surprise me.
He's kind of like, okay, and he like disappears, and he comes back, and he pops like a red glass down, a glass down that's kind of filled with like a dark red wine, and he kind of pops the bottle on the side, and it says like wine of the Sophet province. You take a sniff, you taste it. It's very thick. It almost tastes a little irony. It's got like a hint of like fermenting to it. And you like slap your lips together, and yeah, it tastes good. Kind of looks at you and he's like, 6 gold pieces for a glass of that, though, my fine friend. All the way from the Southern Islands. Don't get that up here.
Well, the salt sucks. That's why. And I'll slap the 6 gold So I have my wine, do I have my ale, and do I have my strong thing?
Yeah, so he kind of like it then get you the beer and ale. It's 3 gold pieces for the beer and the ale, and he tells you that that wine is the strongest thing that he's got. And then if you ask for any other wine, he pushes some kind of like white wine towards you, and says that that would be 2 gold pieces.
I'll take the red. I'll take the beer. I'll take the whatever strong thing he puts, and
The
I'll
strong
take
thing
it.
is the red kind of irony thing.
Okay, that's the strong thing. Okay, I'll take it to the table. And when I get to the table, I'll ask what everyone else wants. But probably this is for. Is it enough for like 2 or 3 of us, or just me?
Yeah, you've got enough for like if you wanted to share your drinks. That would be enough for all of you if you wanted. There are like empty glasses around, so if you don't mind drinking out of someone's old glass, sure. Or you can go back and ask for some more glasses.
I'll take the drinks to the table. I'll go back, grab another bottle of the red thingy, grab some glasses, get back, and if someone wants to eat, well, I stuffed my face and still have cakes, so
A decent meal here would set you back 9 gold pieces each. There is the option of snacks and nibbles, which is 4 gold pieces per dish. You overhear someone mention as they bring it to the table, if you wanted it as they sat down, that they think that the Southerners call it taras or taras. Don't quite hear what they're kind of saying. Maybe
Tapas.
tapas.
Tapas. Ooh,
Tapas. They have
I'm
tapas.
But yeah, that's what's on offer. And there is, as you guys are drinking and taking your food in, there is like someone like a kind of like a small kind of like young human kind of walking around and going, oh, if you want to stay and listen to the performance, it's 2 silver pieces each, but if you give me 2 gold pieces, I can get you up close and personal with the Loxodon Queen, our own very dancing elephant. And like he's going from table to table.
Do you want to watch the Queen close? I'll address Lali if she wants to watch the Queen.
I'm intrigued, I must say. Yes, I shall. I shall also go to the bar and ask if they have steaks.
Yeah, he tells you that they do. That can be part of the decent meal. That'll set you back 9 gold pieces.
Just the steak. Want it cooked.
If you want, yeah, can cook you it for however you want for 9 gold pieces.
Okay, for 9 gold pieces. Yes, but please don't cook it. Just bring me it.
You want it? Okay, raw it is. That's perfect. And as you kind of go on.
A second one as well, my good man. Again, raw.
Does anyone else want a raw steak over there?
Oh, it's not for me. It's for my emotional support womp.
We don't. We don't accept emotional support. Like, you okay?
Clearly not.
Yeah, I mean, I am when I am accompanied by my womp.
Okay, that's fine. He kind of like goes off. Is you hear him like banging around in the kitchen for like a couple of minutes, and he comes back with 2 plates of quite large, like maybe venison steaks. As he pops them down on the table, and he's like, "There you go."
Okay, thank you very much, my good man. And I shall.
Off just maintains eye contact with the barkeeper, picks up the plate, and drops the plate and the steak down to the waiting womp. You just
What-
hear this kind of as it's eating away, but like you hear the cracking ceramic as the womp just eats the entire thing.
You kind of like you
It's
see the
so-
Loxodon kind of like eyes kind of twitching, and he's kind of like, one of the finest plates. What are you? What? Never said he ate plates. You said he ate steak.
In my defense, my good man, I only asked for the steak. You brought the plate as bonus.
I'm gonna have to ask you to sit down, I think, before you eat any of my other crockery.
Oh, jeez, oh.
I am not the one who needed to eat.
And he kind of like nods at you, like, yeah, sure, okay. So Lally, did you want to sit up close and personal, or did you want to sit in the booth?
Yeah, no, I'd like to sit up close.
Okay, so the human comes over and he asks for 2 gold pieces from you. He like offers you a seat like over here. As you can see, there's already 2 guys kind of like milling around, and they look quite excited to be up close and personal with the singing Loxodon. So you could take any of the seats that are around, whatever you wish to take. And then like basically things get hushed down, the lights start to turn down low, and the Loxodon starts to sing, and it's quite melodic. You've not kind of heard anything, obviously being from a different plane. You've not really seen anything like this. You had entertainment, but you never had Loxodons over there. She starts to dance, and while she's quite a hefty girl, she seems to move quite elegantly. She doesn't seem to bounce or make any like indentations into the wood or anything.
Impressive.
The performance goes on for several minutes, and it is quite charming. As she kind of comes to some kind of crescendo, could you roll me a charisma save?
Me? Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Right, I can try. Hold on. The dog's trying to eat my cables. Stop. Right. Click. Right, how do I have to do it at the side? Because I can't. Right, there's charisma. Oh my god, I'm not very good at this, am I? There we are.
There you go.
Did that work?
It did. So as you're kind of sat there, you kind of notice that the dress, it shifts and moves like water and smoke, and you suddenly feel very compelled to suddenly start giving more gold. Take 5, 10, 20 gold pieces, and you start scattering them where she stands, and you see that the 2 men either side of you are doing exactly the same kind of thing. You reach down to your pockets and you start to pull out your entire coin purse. You're just completely enthralled and bewitched by this movement as she's dancing around the stage. Before you put your actual whole coin purse down, she kind of stops singing, and then like smoke erupts around her, and she disappears, and so does the gold that's on the table. And you kind of like, you blink for a second. Obviously she's gone. You put coin purse back, you're like, what am I doing? Put the coin purse back in your pocket at the side, and the whole tavern erupts and cheers and starts whistling, obviously, but she's gone.
Very clever. Hmm.
And you hear people like shouting for more and like screaming out and stuff like that for them. She doesn't return.
Okay, I shall head back to my booth and inform the others about what just happened.
Was anybody watching that performance, or were you all too busy drinking and eating and talking amongst yourselves?
Orth would have shown a vague passing interest, but that would have been about it.
if you were watching, you can roll me a perception check.
Oh.
Benefika would be playing with an ice cube, spitting it out and putting it back in her mouth.
Oh, that's fine. You can play with your ice cube. So
Holy mother of Nat
Oh,
20.
you had seen like she was doing like hand movements, and kind of as she was moving her hands, there was some kind of like arcane, kind of like magic around her. With that natural 20, Weasley, you notice that hand movements and this kind of dancing that she was doing and the arcane magic that was around her, you get the idea that she was probably casting suggestion, and using some kind of subliminal messaging to suggest to give them more money is what she was doing. So as Lali comes and sits down, she tells you, obviously, was overcome with the emotion, and was giving more gold. It's up to you whether you tell her or not about what befell her.
I'll tell Lolly.
Okay.
Same.
Lally's
That-
not happy now.
You've been scammed.
Nearly.
How much
Well, I
did you pay?
No. Well, I did, no, but just not as much as I was going to. I'd pay 20, I think. I think I want my
22, 'cause you
gold
paid
back.
2 to gold.
Yeah, 22, yes, you're right. I think I want my money back. think.
Well, you could go and ask the barkeeper.
Or I could do some roguing.
Some roguing.
I think we need to get all of the money this scam artist has, and it will pay for some artifacts.
That's a very good point, my good man. Very good point. Willie, stop being a pest.
So strange when you say things like that to your dog, because your dog's called Willie. Sounds like you're having an uncomfortable moment, Michael.
There's something wrong with you.
Willie, stop being a pest.
Put it down. Also, with that perception, moving on, with that perception check, Weasley, you had already started to hear Dragonborn talking about some stuff. With that perception check, you did see that he was still talking, and people seemed to be enthralled, and he seemed to be like gesturing quite like vigorously with his hands, and some people were like, you could see that they were no, and he was like, yeah, it really happened. Again, it's up to you whether you want to act on that or not.
I think we should find out, because we need, and what we need just now more than anything else is information. That's what we've not got.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Frank still. No Frank.
Okay.
It's not quite been that 2 hours yet.
Right.
Hey, where's my...
Right.
Where's my token just vanished?
It's still there for me. Right here.
Yeah?
For me, it's over by the bar.
For me, it just vanished. I'm gonna refresh.
For me, it's at the table.
Maybe it's roll 20, because like I said, mine's zooming in really slowly. It's very strange. So the performance has been done. The patrons in the tavern go back to eating and drinking. The Dragonborn still talks quite loudly, and some people, it's getting quite rowdy now. Like, people are getting a little bit drunk. We're probably looking at about 10:30 now. Obviously, more people are filtering in. What would you like to do?
I'd like to try and as stealthily as I can move to here.
Roll me a stealth.
Oh, yeah, stealth check. Ooh,
Yeah, you
that's poor.
are still kind of under the enthrallment from the spell, and as you kind of like start to move around, you trip over several chairs, fall into several people because you're still kind of like fumbling in your pocket, looking to try and give some more gold, but you don't know who you're giving it to. You manage to stagger through the crowd and you kind of like slap your hands on the counter top as you're looking around, and yeah,
Okay,
you've managed to get there. You've probably attracted the entire attention of the entire
in
bar.
that case, I will act drunk.
Make a performance check for me.
Fuck me. Oh, there we go. That's
Yeah,
all right.
like you fall onto the desk, and people look at you and they're like, "Oh yeah, just drunk," and everyone's like, "Hey!" and like starts like slapping you and like starts like offering like drinks for you and stuff like that to like get you going. What would you like to do over here?
I will just like to stand there and listen to what Dragon Boy's saying.
It's fine. So you kind of like milling around, and over here the smell of like spices, and is that some kind of like hallucinogenic, maybe get the hint of something. You're not quite sure. It doesn't smell very pleasant suddenly over here. Um, as you're listening in, like someone's like talking to him, he's like, oh, Yancey, you're talking a load of shit. And he's like, no, I am telling you that no one survived. I survived, but no one else survived. I'll never go back to that place, but it was full of horrors and terrors, and you, you should never ever go there. The first room, full of traps. I fell in a pit. Oh, there was swinging blades. There was all sorts that was going on. The ceiling came like falling down with like scorpions falling out. It was horrendous. There was a pit that I had to climb out of, and by the time I'd returned to the lip of the pit, the 5 people I was with were all dead.
Alright, meds
And
time.
that's all you hear from him.
Interesting. Now hold on. Sorry, carry on.
As he's waffling on, I can by any chance can I sit on the actual bar thing, like on the ledge of the bar,
Yeah, sure.
rather than sit. So I'm gonna take an empty glass with me and sit here as he's waffling on, staring at him, not blinking, just with ice cube in my mouth, staring at him.
Yeah, he's like talking, and he just assumes that you're completely enthralled with what he's got to say. He's like making eye contact with you and like nodding and stuff like that, and he's like, yeah, and scorpions were falling from the roof of the mouth, and it was so strange. You should have been there. Everyone was dead. That first room full of awful traps.
I'm trying to remember. Oh shit, my memory. I'm trying to remember something in my stupid bloody memory.
That's okay.
How did when we first came together, the group? Who came from the desert? Were they not?
It was off and spring.
And did they not? Were they not at some sort of in some sort of place that was like he's describing? Was that me just imagining things?
I don't know. Are they there? Are they listening in?
No, I'm just trying to remember. I know they told us something at the start, but I can't remember what they said now. Oh, it doesn't matter. My brain's not working.
He's talking about some kind of temple. But that would be it. You're not quite sure about what temple he was talking about. He's not specifically said anything. But he talks about the door had a flame that was on it. But that's about it.
Okay. Right.
And
Well,
I would say, because it's now 11 o'clock,
okay.
that we call it quits for today, guys. I know
Okay.
Easy wasn't feeling very well. So I think just before we move on, because obviously
Okay.
you are on the right thoughts there. You need to pick at those threads. But yeah, shall we leave it there for today, guys?
Okay.
Really good session, Becky. Thank you. Sorry,
No, it's
my
fine.
meds are making me really drowsy today
No,
as
it's
well.
fine.
So I think
Again,
It's easy going.
it's one of
I
those
never
things.
know.
Don't worry about it. But,
Really good
thank you
session,
for
though.
playing, guys.
No, thank you.
Really enjoyed the shit that Francisco's about to start cooking up. I am all here
Absolutely.
for that. But oh, there we go. That's
The
me
heist
for
of the
today.
century.
Ah,
I need to go and eat some food and maybe drink something because I have not drunk anything
yeah.
today.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
Um,
Got to look after yourself.
like Becky
Ready
said,
to raid.
thank you all for watching and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Right.